Hey YouTube, what's up? We are in the Nashville, Tennessee area. You probably noticed some differences in the scenery. A little bit more green. Definitely overcast right now. I'm trying to beat the rain. And I've been dealing with spotty rain, scattered thunderstorms for the past, well, since I got here. So, probably should have ridden yesterday. But I was helping my dad with some stuff. I'm here visiting family, and I was obviously doing some writing. And just thought I'd do a quick status video, I guess, previous to what's coming up. So it's my intention to head out to the Dragon tomorrow and spend a couple days out there riding. And I need to dust the cobwebs off and get some of those straight Texas roads out of my system and get back into the more curvaceous roads of Tennessee. It's funny how that works. You get used to a certain kind of riding, and if you deviate from that, suddenly your nerves get the best of you sometimes. This is Smyrna, Tennessee, home of one of the Nissan plants. I think at least part of the headquarters is here. You know, those used to be really good cars. Several of my friends, their dads and moms, when I was growing up, going to high school in this area, worked at Nissan, and everybody I knew had Nissans. We were the oddball family that had Mazdas and Mopars. So anyhow, just gonna get back here and do some carving. I guess it is curving a little bit, and hopefully I don't get rained on. I can tell already I need to do some adjusting to my suspension. Feels like the front forks are a little bit too much. I think I need to soften them up a little bit. Not sure. Anyhow, and just in case you're wondering, these are adjusted now to Buell's factory specs for my weight. And I had them a little bit softer on the preload on the forks. The rear is the same, no difference there. But I went up on preload and adjusted the damping and rebound per what Buell says is ideal for this bike of my weight. It may just be me. I need to just, my mirror got knocked out of the place a little bit there. May just be me, but I don't know. I watched a video from, oh gosh, Dave, is it Mathis? Oh, I'm embarrassed, I forget his name now. He's like the suspension guru for motorcycles. Tires, tire pressure, suspension, all that stuff. And he said something that I thought, oh yeah, that's awesome to hear. He said that that your suspension and tire pressures are the starting point that get you in the ballpark of where you need to be, but that you're inevitably supposed to be focused on how the bike feels, and if you're comfortable, and where you're comfortable, and what kind of riding you want to be most comfortable at. And so he mentioned a few, variables like, do you want to stick in the turn, or do you want to have stability at speed, or whatever, or you're looking for longer tire wear, all kinds of stuff like that. And I thought, dude, that's awesome to hear. It's kind of, I think what ends up happening to us bikers is and he says this, Dave Moss Tuning, just remembered his name. Dave Moss said that oftentimes we try to conform to the bike, and that's not right. The bike should be right for us. So that was pretty awesome to hear. So I need to loosen up, take some preload out. At least that's how it feels to me. The damping feels okay. It just feels a little bit like rigid up front. It doesn't want to take the turns too well. Feels good in a straight line. So, but this is the area I grew up in, and small town. Well, it used to be small town. It's not really a small town anymore. It's getting bigger. A lot of folks from California moving in. I remember being in high school, and at that time it was a lot of people from Detroit moving down, and some Californians, but mostly people from Detroit, Michigan area, at least in my circle of friends anyway. That may not be entirely true. And it grew pretty quickly while I was in high school. There used to be nothing here. Nothing. There was a young teenage skateboarder living in a country town. Anyone who skates knows that life. You kind of get desperate, looking for something to do. I think I'm going to go right today. It's really pretty here. I miss some of the culture of Tennessee as compared to Texas. Definitely miss the roads. Well, that's what I'm smelling. Holy cow, that is a strong... Oh, my gosh, I can barely breathe. It was a dead skunk, and those buzzards were eating it. But I definitely miss the roads. Just being able to take some turns. I mean, and look how the condition of the roads is. This is normal. Tennessee has some of the best roads in the United States in terms of condition, but also in terms of quality of the road itself, you know. And they have very low taxes. So in case you're curious about a good place to live for motorcycling, you should definitely check out Tennessee. Yeah, this suspension is way too bouncy. Too harsh. It's probably right, but I'm taking my cues from Dave. Yeah, Tennessee, if you're looking for a great place to ride, you know, come out here and visit too. You know, just load your bike up or hop on the road and get out here. Definitely a great place to experience good riding riding season is shorter here than it is in Texas. But still great when it's on. You can totally get lost. I'm not even sure if I remember where I'm going. That's the Stones River right there. Can't remember where this goes. Oh well. Just nice to be able to get out. It's easy to forget too just how green it is back here compared to Texas. That's pretty, dang. But that house is post, I don't know, it could be a redo, or whatever you call that, but some of these houses are very, very old. Antebellum houses, so if you don't know what antebellum is, post-Civil War. I had a friend in high school whose house was built just after the Civil War. I think it was solid brick. I think the walls were like 3 feet thick. I'm not kidding. They were thick brick. And I think it had like 4 or 5 fireplaces. Big old chimneys. It's a cool house. Still there. Been playing with my tire pressures on these Pirellis, trying to get them where I like them. I think about 1 psi lower than what Buell's factory settings are. Seems to feel better to me. Okay, now I know where I'm at. I think that's Sulphur Springs Road. Anyways, not that you guys care. Where's Sulphur Springs Road? It's right here. Can't you tell? So, what was I talking about? I don't know. You guys remind me in the comments. Squirrel. Yeah, I definitely feel more pressure in my wrists whenever I'm braking with these settings. I think I need to do just maybe 1/2 line showing on the preload, and maybe leave the rebound and the damping where it's at for now, and just kind of see from there. The rear feels pretty good, so anyways, alright, enough of that. We're now in a town called Murfreesboro. Where we were was Smyrna. Some people say Smyrna. And hey, check that out, man. That's cool, huh? Smoking Eds. That's cool. Anyways, yeah, some people say Smyrna and Smyrna. If you're Southern, you have to add extra. So what you do is, if you're Southern, you borrow letters from one word, you leave them off, and then you put them into another word. That's how we do things right here. So you could say, I'm fixing to go to Smyrna. Or you could say, I'm finna go to Smyrna. Or, if you really want to ramp it up, you say, I'm fitting to go to Smyrna. I just taught you guys some southern language training with KZ650 Yeah, it's super bouncy. Yeah, I don't like that. I gotta fix that. My head was shaking. Yeah, it wants to go in. Yeah, I don't like that. Anyways, yeah, I used to ride here all the time, you know? And I definitely miss it. I really like this 1050. Has a very linear power, but then when it comes on, it's on. It feels really good. I need to work on my turning. That's one of the reasons I'm out riding today. I really got to get these cobwebs. Got to knock the dust off, man, previous to going to the Dragon, or otherwise it's going to be a miserable experience. Just through that turn right there, instead of looking through the turn, I was looking down. You guys can't tell because, you know, I'm leaning into it and I should be using my eyes to look, or even turning my head where I want to go, but nope, I look down. Dang, that guy's got cannons in his yard. Cool. So yeah, I gotta do some work here. The rain's not supposed to hit until like 1, and I think we're around 10 o'clock right now. Hold on, let's see if I got my clock right. That can't be right. Is it 8:51? No way. Definitely taking everything slower just because I'm rusty. Alright, I think we'll turn around and go back the other way. Hopefully before somebody comes around that turn. Buells are actually pretty popular around here. There's a number of people I've been around in Texas that don't know what this is. And it's usually people say, "Is that a Buell?" They yell and get all excited about it, and it's kind of fun. Bike culture is really strong out here. Bike's doing really good. The Mazda did fine. I drove, I was tempted to video my trip out here in the Mazda, hauling the Buell. And you guys would have been absolutely mesmerized by the straight and super boring I-30 and I-40 all the way out. So I just said, you know what, I'm not going to film it. It just would have been absolutely boring. But the Mazda did fine. The valve train's making a lot of noise. It is adjusted per Mazda spec, but it's just noisy, and I don't know. I got concerned that maybe I had another rod knock, but no, it's the valve train. I got 22.5 miles per gallon in the Mazda, hauling the Buell. Oh, about that too. See, I'm gonna really. That was super lame. I was almost upright in that turn. So I loaded the Buell sideways at an angle into the Mazda to be able to close the tailgate. That was a mistake. I've seen people doing that, and I will never do that again. Interesting thing about the way that physics works is that when I make right turns in the Mazda, everything was fine, but when I make left turns in the Mazda, the Buell was doing this in the back. And I'm not exaggerating. It really was going. It was absolutely petrifying. So I posted a short of modification I did to the bed of my truck, and I added a bike chock. I used some rib nuts to be able to remove the bike chock whenever I am not using it. And worst case scenario is I just ended up with some extra drains in the bed. But I loaded the Buell in it yesterday and drove around town. Awesome. It was great. So everything was dead stable. And the other, okay, let me also want to say too, one other thing that happened with the Mazda is that metal, anyone who owns a Mazda or even an older Japanese vehicle knows this. The metal is very thin, and so it bent the headboard on the bed. And I'm not keen. I got it pulled back out. It's definitely not straight anymore, which is kind of irritating. But you know, it is what it is. Still a truck. So I'm not interested in continually doing that and fatiguing the metal and potentially, you know, causing long-term damage to the cab of the truck. So I decided to go the route I went, and I really like it. Very happy that I did it. Maybe we'll get on the interstate, open up the Buell a little bit. We'll take another route back into Smyrna. Road hazard at 3 o'clock. I did not dress for the interstate, but my arms are just flapping in the breeze, no jacket on. It's like they say, dress for the ride, not for the slide, so that's my fault. I keep wanting to shift. I also think, just remembered, I think there's some crummy road up here. Oops. I think they're doing some road work. I forgot about that. Probably got to slow way down and do a little dancing. This really has grown up significantly. I know you guys heard those pops, you had to have. And I should have gone the other way down the interstate. This road's just dead straight. This is kind of, we actually came up to this road earlier. Oop, let's just hit that. Oh, that hurt. Actually came up to this road previously. And turned around and went the other way before. But this is called Murfreesboro Road. It changes names multiple times, and right here it's called the same road. This is called Murfreesboro Road. Here, up there it's called Lowry, and then it turns into Lafayette, or if you're a Nashvilleian, Lafayette. I know that sounds funny to some of y'all, but you know, Southern. Hey, you know what? Let's go to another place I used to ride. Not much going on, just me out goofing off. Yeah, none of that. That was all just like, actually, that was a junkyard. I remember, it's a salvage yard, and not anymore. It's a neighborhood. Crazy. I bet people are digging up car parts in their in the yards. That place right there is a 4x4 off-road shop, and if you watch the TV show Trucks, they've got YouTube now. That particular place right there has been featured on their channel. There's a lot of, so the automotive culture, bikes, cars, trucks, you name it, very, very strong in Tennessee. There's a lot of industry built up around that. Tons of machine shops here, transmission shops, lots of stuff built up around this area, and to support that culture, really. I don't know if that's got to be, that's trash water, man. Thought that was oil. Still gonna avoid it. The weather's holding out pretty good. So, what was I saying? Yeah, car culture, bike culture. They have cruise-ins all the time here. I never see them where I live. Back in Texas, never. I know they happen, just not where I live. And here, they're like all over the place all the time. And it's fun to go basically catch a free car show. Some really nice cars, cool bikes, Most of them are Harleys, to be honest. But sometimes you see something, you know, like some vintage. Oh, look at that. Vanagon. That's cool. Sometimes you see some kind of vintage bike, antique bike show up, and that's really cool to see. So this part's just going to be pretty chill, 40 miles an hour, chilling. They used to make boats there. I don't know what they do there now. I can't remember what boat company that was, but you probably would have heard of them if I said the name. That used to be farm. Nothing used to be there. Crazy. That filler ain't got no headlights. Actually, he did. They were kind of sort of bolted to that bed rail he had on the front of his truck. All right, guys. Well, I don't know. You know, you tell me if you're enjoying this kind of stuff. A little bit, kind of more of the same of what we do out in Texas. Just me riding around, goofing off, talking to you, yakking in your ears, and you're just kind of reliving my teenage years, being out here on my motorcycle back then. And appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna keep rolling, keep yakking, but maybe I'll split this video up. Maybe not. Maybe I'll be lazy. I think I'm gonna be lazy, and I'm just gonna clip the ends of it. No edits. Post. You know, it's funny, in the South there are straight roads, obviously, but man, there's some really good curvy roads here, and the asphalt's great. Take this asphalt any day. If we had gone the other way, exactly the other way, we would have hit Stones River Battlefield, which is a Civil War battlefield that's now a park. Matter of fact, I'm going to be here for a while. This isn't just a very quick visit to Tennessee. I'm going to be here till the middle of July. And like I said, I'm visiting family. I'm not just out here to do some riding. So there will be many videos out here in Tennessee, and mostly in this area. I'll try and take you guys around and show you some cool stuff. Places you might want to visit if you come out to the Middle Tennessee area. You know, I'll spend some Fridays and Saturdays doing some bike trips, little shorter bike trips to different little spots that I know about that are definitely worthy of visitation if you come out this way. One in particular I'm thinking about right off the top of my head is one called Fall Creek Falls, and that's really gorgeous, but the roads are dude, they're awesome. They're really good. So highly recommend that as a bike trip. It's probably about a 30-minute, maybe a little bit longer ride through the whole thing, and you're gonna be you know, there's plenty of switchbacks and nice turns, lots of elevation change. So that's a good one. Another one is really not a destination as it is just a road to get to a town. There's a little town called Altamont, Tennessee, kind of toward Chattanooga. And it's got a nice little series of turns in there that are really fun. Switchbacks in one area that are great. And another one, I don't know, I'll just take you along. We'll just do some riding. Show you what I got going on around here. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up at this point. We're pretty much nearing the end of my little trek out and about. Want to thank you guys for tuning in again. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it. And if not, pretend that you do. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And leave a comment down below if you are familiar with the area I'm in, and you'd want to suggest that I go to a certain place, do some riding over there. And also want to thank my Patreons for their help and assistance. Their contributions help pay for different things on the channel for both the Buell and the Mazda. And I very much appreciate that. Every red penny counts. And until next time, you guys, peace out and keep it between the ditches.